name is Tiffany. Welcome to my home. I am the dyer and maker behind Latah Valley Fiber Co. You can find my shop at latahvalleyfiberco.etsy.com. I wanted to start off by thanking each and every one of you who has supported my small business in these first few weeks of getting started. A little bit of admin to start out with is I've had a couple questions on my social media accounts. Number one being, I didn't actually mention what my husband had built for me in my last episode. My husband had done some research on skein winders and found that they were rather expensive, and he is very good mechanically with his hands, so he thought he could build one for much less. Turns out he could. So he built me a skein winder. And you may be wondering, why would you need a skein winder? Well, here's why. This skein of yarn, I wound by hand and looped it together. You can see that it's very loose and it has bits of it that are sticking out in a very untidy way about it. So I would try my hardest to wind it as tight as I could before folding it together and tying it at the top. And this is pretty much the best I could do. It's terrible. So this is a skein wound with a skein winder. It's tight. It's tidy. There are no bits and pieces sticking out all over the place. It's very presentable, and this would be something that I would want to buy personally versus something like this. So that is why you would want a skein winder. So let's talk about a shop update. This week I'm adding this color. This is my 100% organic merino wool worsted weight. And I have 5 skeins of this coming to the shop this week. It's dyed with sapin wood, which is a purple, gives off a purple color. And you can shift the color to blue or gray by using iron in an after bath. So that's what we did. And I was hoping for gray, but instead I got this really pretty blue color. I'm not disappointed at all because blue is also very hard to get if it's not done with indigo. And I love this blue. It's beautiful. It would look good for a sweater or a hat. What I'm wearing this week is a sweater that I knit between Thanksgiving and Christmas of 2022, just last year. I knit this sweater out of fisherman's wool, which you can find at your local Joann's store. It's a great workhorse yarn. It's worsted weight. This particular kind is tweed. So it's wool and then it has the tweedy bits in it, which I really like. It's a great effect. Now, I did make some alterations to this pattern. The pattern was originally called October Breeze, and the only part that I took from it was the collar. The rest I modified to make it more comfortable for my body. I like bigger, loose sleeves, which allow if you want to wear an undershirt with a long sleeve undershirt. It would work with that as well. And then I also like the big, chunky, ribbed look. And I'll insert some pictures here of what it looks like. I also modified the hem at the bottom. I made it extra wide. And then I split on the sides the hem so that it would fit over my hips a little bit better and look more flattering. So that's what I'm wearing today. Let's move on to what I've been working on this week. Now, I have put down my Christmas socks and my hot water bottle cover I've set those aside because I had an order come across from a gentleman that works with John, my husband, that he wanted a pair of socks and a hat. So John is knitting him the hat and I'm knitting him the pair of socks. Now this gentleman has size 13 shoes, which foot-wise is about 11 and a half. So I am knitting these with fingering weight yarn that I purchased, actually John purchased from our local yarn shop. I've done the toe, the foot, and the heel on both socks. And you'll notice that both these socks are at the same spot and that they're on these funny looking cord needle things. So this is called circular needles, 2 at a time. So got my 2 needles here. This cord runs through both the socks and then has a loop. So what you do is you knit the front of the sock, both socks, then you flip it around and you knit the back of both socks. So they're done together and they're finished together, which is a great way to do that. So as you can see from this, I've done the heel and I'm starting on the leg to go up to the cuff, and then I'll be done. These should be done by the end of this week and ready to go to their new home on Monday. So thank you to the gentleman who bought a pair of socks and a hat from my shop. I appreciate it. That's all I have for you this week. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next week in the next episode.